Good morning, everyone. It's still a little early, and I work like almost a night shift, I guess you call it. I get home usually around 12:30 or so. Um, I sleep in usually a little later, and I'm probably gonna try to get some more rest. But this is pretty important, so I decided to just come on and talk to y'all for a few minutes about it. Uh, got some interesting emails overnight, and I've also got an alert, I guess you could say, of some interesting stuff as well that I'm going to share with you all, just to kind of give you some food for thought. It's mostly speculation, but it's a good possibility too. So that's why I'm putting it out there. Um, it's really it. For a long time, if people have been following this channel, other channels, and so forth, talking about an internal revolution, civil war type stuff. Um, it's got to start sometime, right? I mean, it just does. And with everything that's been going on in the world, the United States, and so forth, but specifically in the United States over this last week, it seems like it could be ramping up to a fever pitch now to where people might just be getting fed up enough, and there's enough out there that's just very interesting that is kind of it's all converging together to make me think that this week could be that time. Now here's why I say that. Like I said before, chew up the meat, spit out the bones, okay? But let's look at the facts here, okay? Over the last week, this last week prior to today, the 11th, we've seen quite a few shootings. And I heard last night on Project Gray Man live stream as well that toward the end of the stream, I think it was, people can listen to that if they want it, projectgrayman.net. But he was talking about there was a shooting in D.C. of four people last night. And then we had shootings at a mall in New Jersey. And then that horrible shooting in Sacramento. And all of this has happened like within the last week. And now there's been executive orders signed basically to ban assault weapons and, basically try to confiscate people's guns. All right. So that's a huge one. Then you look at the sudden reports of a bird flu and how this is going to affect, the industry. Um, Grayman also mentioned last night, I think it was Rembrandt Foods, where uh, basically it shut down. And why is that important? Because they manufacture eggs, they manufacture dairy products, and so forth. So, you can see how the food will be contaminated and how you won't be able to get the things that you were able to get prior. And if you do, uh, you could wind up getting salmonella or something. I mean, these people are evil. They're just straight up evil. They want to call humanity. So now the bird flu, and I got an interesting email from someone that I've known for quite a long time. But we don't talk that often, and they pointed something out to me. Psalm 91, verse 3, where it talks about, being protected from the snare of the fowler. Fowler. Well, fowler, and fowl, bird fowl, right? I mean, when you think of fowl, Fowl, it's birds. So basically, there is our protection for in Psalm 91, verse 3, for the protection against the bird flu, the pestilence, the things that are going to be coming and are even here in certain areas of the United States. Um, so yeah, pray Psalm 91, verse 3. I know people say Psalm 91, Psalm 91, Psalm. Well, it's not a joke. Psalm 91 is huge. Psalm 91 is your protection. So Psalm 91, verse 3 specifically refers to protection against the bird flu. This is what was revealed to them, This is a very godly person, an intercessor, someone that spends a lot of time with the Lord. And they told me that the Lord, put it upon their heart to share this with me. And I thank them for that because now I can share it with you. See, when people are obedient to the Lord and they'll send me things and they say, yeah, the Lord told me to share this with you. I used to think, well, why me? Well, I know why me because I'll put it out in a video because I'll share it with the rest of you. So you'll have the knowledge and the information as well. You can do with it what you will from there. But then I get another email talking about how people are beginning to die of AIDS in the UK. Now, Gray Man also, as well as other people, but he seems to be really on top of it, doing live streams and so forth, and just trying to get as much information out to people as quickly as he can. He mentioned that a while back too. Regarding about a week or so ago, regarding maybe it's longer, but people beginning to get AIDS again, and that is exactly what is happening in the UK. See, people can do their own homework and research, and they can look out at all this themselves. Like I said before, chew up the meat, spit out the bones. Then on top of that, Prophecy Club just put out a video, based on a Mike Adams podcast, that could the internal revolution begin this week? Well, last night you had the manhole covers blowing off in Times Square. Kind of weird, kind of strange. Panicked a lot of people. Didn't seem to be a big deal. I don't think anybody was injured or anything like that. Just scared the crap out of them, right? I saw the video of that. Other people saw some videos regarding that. And then you had the sandbags in D.C., which nobody can really figure out. We got all the illegals being shipped to D.C. from Texas, maybe even Florida as well, at least coming soon. Makes you kind of wonder if they're preparing for something. You know, I'm not into all the Q stuff and all the rest of that. I'm not. But at the same time, I take all this intel and information based upon biblical prophecy as well, dreams and visions people have had that they've shared with me, the Dimitri Duduman, prophecy, the vision of the internal revolution. And you put all that together, hmm, makes you think, makes you wonder, could this be the week? Not to mention the fact, Passover begins on the 15th, also, legalized theft day is what I referred to it. But anyway, Passover begins on the 15th, and this is basically considered Holy Week. You look back in history, you look back in times, of the feast and so forth. Um, watch Israel as God's timepiece as always, but you look at the different feasts, and usually very significant events occur, during the certain feast times and so forth. So, you put all this together, you might have something here. So I mention all this so people can be as prepared as possible because Americans don't like to have their freedoms taken away. True Americans, okay? People that have served in the military, veterans, people in public service, not your, your pansy socialist communists, what's mine is yours is mine kind of, philosophy, ideology garbage, but true Americans that believe that what's theirs is theirs because God gave it to them, and and they work hard for their money and they don't want it stolen, and they have built businesses, have built a life, and whatever else. They want to protect themselves and their family, and they don't believe that anybody has the right to take that from them. People that believe that way, which is a lot. I'm one of them. And and other people that believe that way because of how they were raised and the ideals and philosophies in their life, and they don't like thieves and liars, and and they don't want people stealing from them. They might have something to say this week if they start to come for the guns, if they start to try to hurt people, if the good guys and the bad guys, so to speak. They call it the white hats and the black hats, rise up against each other if there are attempted arrests. And I get a lot of things sent to me. One of them is like uh, real news, real raw news, and stuff like that. I can't confirm or verify any of it, but I'll tell you what, if any of it is true, the reason you're not seeing a lot of people in politics that you had seen before, they kind of disappeared, went into they're in the distance somewhere, is according to the reports I'm getting, and like I said, I can't verify any of them, they're either arrested or dead. Um, that's why you're not seeing them anymore. So think about people that you would see before, or hear reports about, or see articles about, and they're gone. You're not seeing them anywhere. What happened to them? Where are they? How come they're so silent? How come they just shut up and go away? Could be that they're dead and we just don't know it, or arrested. I don't know. Like I said, I can't verify it. And I'm not getting into all the conspiracy of it. I'm just saying, why aren't you seeing them anymore? Where are they? So maybe some of this is true. Maybe a lot of it is true. But it's been passed off as conspiracy for so long that people just kind of ignore it and they don't think anything of it. But what if they try to do some mass arrests? Maybe that's what those sandbags are about in DC. I don't know. Maybe there's going to be more. Maybe they're setting some things up. I don't know. I don't know. But what if they attempt that kind of stuff this week? What if? And in combined with the fact that we could still have um, Franks, foxtrots, to distract people, to hurt people, to keep people from the truth. I mean, these people are evil. You cannot fathom the evil that is in their hearts and minds. They are satanic. They want people to die, and they don't care how, and they don't care how many. They want a lot of people to die. So I would be very vigilant. I would be very aware, specifically this week, because, and watch the Prophecy Club video if you want. I mean, it's up to you. Like I said, chew up the meat, spit out the bones. I listen to Mike Adams. A lot of who he says I agree with, a lot of what he says I don't. I mean, because I understand biblical prophecy that, the New World Order's here, and, we're going to, these are not going to be America's greatest days ahead. If anything happens, regarding this, I mean, the dollar's still going to crash, the petrodollar's still going to crash. We're Mystery Babylon. It's people are going to see it. They can argue it now. They're going to see it. It's going to be right in their face. And when they do, then they'll understand at that point in time that America's going down, and going down hard. So even if arrests are made, and they say, yeah, we're gonna, it's not gonna be the global reset, but the global currency reset, and that'll be the better thing, and that'll um, basically restore our republic and all. I don't buy into all that garbage. I don't. I know a lot of people who do, and I get it. They're hopeful. They're optimistic. I guess you can call me a realistic pessimist. I don't know, but I don't buy into all that. I don't. My concern is, you know, a revolution where America, you have American against American, brother against brother, sister against sister, because of the, you know, ideals and philosophies that people have, that they just, those staunch ideas that they stick to, that can divide people in an even greater way. And I don't know what it's going to take, but trying to confiscate guns is huge if they do that kind of stuff. And I said, just all the other signs that are out there, um, it just kind of leads me to believe that, and all the other reports of possible arrests, and, you know, these other things that we're dealing with, the continuous deflation of the dollar, basically being made worthless almost, at least coming very soon. And people are hurting, they're homeless, A lot of need out there. If you check Lisa Sabbath Seekers and other ministries that are trying to help as many people as they can, with their needs, um, kind of leads me to believe that this week could be very important. So, take it to the Lord with all things. Be prepared, be ready, be vigilant, be wise. Um, you know, I don't know what else to say. Just be as ready as you can because there could be a revolution calling this week. Uh, that's an old Queensryche song. I was a big Queensryche fan. I still like their music to a certain extent. Be like, oh, that's secular and this and that. I get it, but they're also a very prophetic band. We'll put it that way. They call them a thinking man's band, and they put out a song years ago on their album Operation Mindcrime called "Revolution Calling." If people want to look up the lyrics to that song, um, that was in 1988. I can see these things coming to pass here real soon. Uh, I mean, even back then in 1988, they were talking about, in that song, in that particular song, the lyrics of that song, they were talking about things that we're looking at now. So I don't know. I mean, they always put it out years in advance, right? Uh, could there be a revolution calling this week? I think it's possible. Because I think it's possible. That's why I'm reporting on it. So, like I said, take it to the Lord. Be prepared. Be as ready as you can. Psalm 91:3. There's your protection against the bird flu. And thank you for people who have emailed me things and their dreams, their visions, their words from the Lord, their knowledge that they're receiving. I appreciate that, the comments and so forth, because you work together with all these things and then people can be informed and they can be as ready as possible. And I'm not one to say I told you so or laugh at people's calamity or whatever. I feel saddened, to be honest with you. I feel saddened. I feel I don't know. I don't want despondent isn't the right word. Let's just say saddened. We'll just stick with saddened by everything that's going on and everything that's about to happen. And I, I wish people would have listened. I wish. I wish. It's not a time to mock them, at least not for me, and to make fun. I mean, you got to reach out and help as many people as you possibly can while you still can. Um, it's pretty soon it's going to be every man, woman, and child for themselves. Uh, so I'm just saddened by the fact that people didn't listen. And those that didn't listen, those that didn't prepare, those that think this is a joke, it's going to go away. Just wait till the next administration or the next election or the next this or the next that. They're in for a very, very rude awakening because that's just not the case. This is going to get bad. It's going to get bad quick. And it might even be this week.